Greetings and welcome back to another episode of Q Points Podcast. I am DJ Sir Daniel.
And my name is Jay Ray, sometimes known by my government as Johnny Ray Cornegay III. What's happening, folks?
Yes, we are back with another fun-filled episode. Here to brighten your day because we need it, Jay Ray. We need it big time.
Ooh, my goodness, yes.
We need it big time. We would be remiss if we did not mention the tragedy that has happened right here in Georgia at the another school shooting. Another high school shooting, another interruption into the lives of children.
Yeah.
Children, there's a whole generation of children that are just, their lives are just nothing but drills and running for their lives. So we just want to take a minute just to acknowledge that what's happened and just, of course, send our thoughts and prayers to the children of what is it?
Appalachia.
Appalachia High School.
Yeah, I'll look it up.
In Winder, I know it's in Winder County. It's in Winder County, and just God bless those children.
And I mean, these young people just got back to school.
Like just got back to school.
They just got back to school, and every time I hear about something like this happening, I think when I was in school, I could not have imagined a shooting at school. Like, that was so far. There were certain places that felt like covered school, church, grandma house, you know what I'm saying? Where Absolutely. It was just like, these are places where you can go and be safe. And that has not been true in decades.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just sending up those thoughts and prayers and acknowledgement to everybody involved, all the families. Thank you, Mark. Appalachia High School. That's the name of it. We're going to go ahead and get into this episode of Q Points. And like I said, bring some joy into your life just for a few minutes. And so we can reminisce and talk about a very, very hardworking man who we just celebrated his birthday a couple weeks ago. It is Virgo season is in effect. And while I'm at it, I just want to say thank you to everybody for all the wonderful birthday wishes. I mean, you guys really know how to make an OG feel good. So thank you to everybody who, shouted me out on the social medias and just gave your boys some love. But Jerry, before we get into all of that, please remind the listeners how they can continue to become part of the Q Points growing community.
Yes. Thank you all so much for tuning in. If you can see us, if you can hear us, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you. Hit the subscribe button if you have not already done so. If where you're joining us has a notification button, also hit that notification button so you can get notified whenever Q Points goes live. Okay. Share the show with your friends, with your family, with your colleagues. If you enjoy Q Points, like we always say, you have people in your life that will enjoy Q Points too. And the best way to get people to know about the show is when you share the show. So we would really appreciate you sharing it. Visit our website at qpoints.com where you can get more. You can certainly read Q Points magazine. You can sign up for our newsletter, which is a great way to stay connected to us. And if you want to do even more than that, you can go and shop our store at store.qpoints.com where you can get all types of gear. We are getting into fall season, so we're going to be pulling back out these hoodies, and you can get you some Q Points hoodies to wear during the fall. Sir Daniel, as we jump into things, I do want to send shouts out to Kimberly. Kimberly Stewart Lucas is joining us. Warrior Mama is in the building. Once again, hey Mark. We see Black Lifetimes 24 is with us on Instagram. So just want to shout y'all out. Thank you all so much for being with us. And everybody else who's joining, let us know where you're joining from.
That's right. Kimberly is fresh out that house in the park celebration from the other day. So I'm sure her bones are and muscles are nice and healed by now. But I'm sure she got her life, and I can't wait to see you and talk about your house in the park experience. But J. Ray, it is time for us to talk about Michael Jackson. We have not dedicated a complete episode to Michael Jackson yet, which I think is weird. But there's just always so much to talk about.
Yeah.
And I think now is the right time that we get around to Mike Jack and to just talk about not necessarily him as the performer and his work, his body of work. I think there's a lot of stuff that Michael Jackson has had his hands in that we don't talk about enough.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. And I'm going to just speak for me personally, and Sir Daniel knows this. It's hard to talk about Michael Jackson. Getting into the career of Michael Jackson means that you have to wrestle with Michael Jackson, the persona, the career, the allegations, the law, all of the stuff. It's a lot of stuff, y'all. And there's a lot of other things out there that you can listen to and you can watch that do that sort of thing. But I like that we are doing this, Sir Daniel, because you're right. Like, so often when we hear the name Michael Jackson, we immediately go to Michael Jackson, the performer, the man who's like on the stage, in the middle of the stage. But what's wild about Michael Jackson is he was just like an artist and musician who like did stuff not out front. And that's really interesting to me.
Absolutely. Like getting prepared for the show, just finding out how people like Kenny Loggins would run up to him at an awards show or a banquet or something, just be like, hey, I'm recording an album. You want to hop on? And Michael's like, sure. Then there's this other band that's recording and it's in the studio next door to where he's at. And they're like, hey, you want to come on over and lay down some vocals? Sure, I got time. I'll just run over there and lay down vocals. That just, Michael Jackson was just a performer also, and a creative.
Yeah.
Just a creative that loved to do what he did. Mm-hmm. And I think you're going to see that in this episode because there's lots of stuff that's going to be talked about that didn't necessarily hit.
Yeah.
But you could tell they had a good time doing it. So I think so when we were discussing this, J. Ray, you had been have been trying to get me to watch this documentary, and I have not gotten a chance to watch it yet. But you have watched this documentary called Think Twice, and that led us down a pathway of the exact moment when things began to change for Michael.
Yeah. So actually Think Twice is a Wondery podcast. It was one of my favorite podcasts. Yeah. One of my favorite podcasts of 2023. I think it was time is a concept that I don't understand. I think it was 2023. And full disclosure, I was advised not to watch Leaving Neverland as a documentary that came out on HBO.
Yeah.
I was literally advised, don't watch it. Let me give you the Cliff's Notes and you just stick with that. And so I was like, okay, I'm not going to watch Leaving Neverland. I'm going to hear what people have to say. Think Twice, I was really interested in because one is co-hosted by Jay Smooth. Shout out to Jay Smooth. Just like an OG content creator, hip hop, just an amazing dude, right? So I thought that was interesting. And I'm like, oh, Jay Smooth is going to be talking about Michael Jackson on this podcast. Anyway, Think Twice, Michael Jackson really does go through the career, the life of Michael Jackson more than anything, using that phrase from Billie Jean, think twice, right? And
remember to think twice.
Halfway through the podcast, we finally get to this is the moment when Michael Jackson's life changes. Because here's the weird thing, Sir Daniel. There is an alternate universe where Michael Jackson doesn't become Michael Jackson, right? There was definitely the possibility where Michael Jackson could have still been performing as one of the 5 members of the Jacksons. And that was it for him. But in 1977, they had gotten greenlit through Motown, The Wiz.
Mm-hmm.
And it was floated that Jimmy Walker should be the Scarecrow. But one of the producers was like, no, that ain't it. That is not it.
Dynamite.
Right. That ain't dynamite. That ain't dynamite. There's an alternate, right? So there's an alternate universe where Michael Jackson was the Scarecrow. But that person, I can't remember their name right now, but we'll put Think Twice in the description. But anyway, where they were like, well, who's an option is Michael Jackson, right? Michael Jackson's already a star. Yeah.
Just think about that. Like you were about to say, Michael Jackson's already a star and somebody's looking at him as an alternate.
Literally, Michael Jackson is an alternate choice.
He can dance a little bit. He can sing a little bit.
Well, part of the reason why Michael is an alternate choice, and this is why this is really important, Michael Jackson comes with Joe Jackson.
Oh, boy.
Remember this world that existed prior to Michael Jackson being the biggest star in the world. Michael Jackson was being managed by the Joe Jackson. And Joe ran the Jacksons with an iron fist. Joe was in charge, okay? So when the producers did approach Joe immediately goes to, okay, well, all the boys. And he's like, no. We are being very clear. We only want Michael. Only Michael. And the filming is going to happen in New York. They're living in LA, right? Mm-hmm. Michael is still living at home in LA with his family. And they're like, no, Michael needs to come to New York. And we only want Michael to do the movie. That's it. That changes Michael's life because 1, he meets Quincy Jones. 2, he figures out that he can kind of exist on his own and kind of explore. So he's in New York going to Studio 54. Him and LaToya are living in an apartment together. They are living the life as young, rich Black folks in New York City. And Michael is now like, oh, there's like a world outside of my Encino, California compound that I live on. And I'm interested in exploring this world. So yes, the moment in time that changes Michael Jackson's career trajectory is him being cast as the Scarecrow in The Wiz. And to Kimberly is in the thing. So Kimberly, no, Michael Jackson and Quincy Jones were not connected before that point. That Wiz experience is what brings them together.
And just imagine, like, I get it, Joe, but Joe was like, nah, if you want one, you gotta take them all. Like, were they gonna be scarecrow? I'm not scarecrows, but the crows and they were going to be crows, or were they going to be flying monkeys on the motorcycles?
Right.
Like, what did Joe think was going to happen? But that's just, I don't know. That's just one of those moments when you really have to bank on yourself.
Yes.
And it's like an Iliad Odyssey moment where a young man stands at the crossroads of his life and he ventures out on his own. And, of course, he has his big sister with him.
Right.
Which I'm sure, God, if they had cameras back then, I'm sure that would have been a hoot. Go ahead.
I got a favorite story.
Go ahead.
It's a wild story. So Michael and LaToya are living in this apartment in New York City. And this producer, whose name, my God, it's going to kill me, they say they go to the house and there's like cases of sparkling water, just like Perrier all over the place. And they're like, y'all are really into sparkling water. Michael was like, no, 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 no. I bathe in it. I like the bubbles.
That's so rich. That's just rich. That's just rich N-word shit. Like that's decadence. That's just opulence, and I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at young people, young Black people experiencing that. Like, why should other people be the only ones to live a lavish lifestyle? I'm here for it. I am here for it. But harkening back to what you were talking about, Michael going out to Studio 54 and soaking up that dance culture, soaking up the disco. I mean, it's no wonder why we got the work out of him. Why it's no wonder how we got an off the wall out of him and everything else that came after that. But so yes, so in this time, Michael has grown. He's gotten his chops, not just as a singer and a performer, but a writer and a producer. Like you said, he met his Svengali in Quincy Jones, and that just sparked so much more of his talent and growing him as a writer and a producer. So J. Ray, I think just what we just have to do as a duo here is to go through some of our favorite Michael Jackson writer producer moments.
Yes.
Because it's not featuring him. This is stuff that he's done for other people. These are going to be things that you've probably heard, or you're going to be surprised that he is the man behind it. He's the pen behind it.
Yeah.
But I want to go first because this is my favorite. Well, this is one of my favorites. And Kimberly, I know this is one of yours and Lisa's as well, because in the quiet of the night, when the centipede is crawling, it's just a magical time of night. Rebe Jackson, of course, Michael's eldest sister, records Centipede and it's released on September 10th, 1984. It's written and produced by Michael, and he's got the background vocals of not one, but two weather girls, Martha Wash and Izora Rhodes, and it's a cult classic, Jerry. That's all. The only thing that we can call that song is just one of those pop phenomenons that it doesn't make sense. It's like, what is going on here? The video is high camp.
The campiest video with the lightning coming out of
lightning hands.
There's museums. There's white people. We don't know what's happening. It's a bop.
A whole bop. And it's just thunderous, and that bass line there. Doom, 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 doom. And it's just amazing. It just I love it. I wonder what that's like being in the studio as the elder sibling, but being produced by your younger sibling, who is definitely the man, who has more skin in the game. But Rebe's they were all part of the entertainment dynasty that is the Jacksons. So I just think about those. I really wish there were cameras back then for all of that.
I think that song is interesting. I mean, Rebe did have that album, and then I think she had one other album before, just kind of being the older sister, right? Like kind of letting that be her role in the whole thing. I will say this though, if you are going to have one big hit, you want it to be Centipede, because you want it to be Centipede. And we've talked about this on the show. We talked about this in the Martha Wash or the House Divas show that we did. So Rebe is the oldest, I believe, and then Jackie is right after her. I think Rebe is like the oldest, Kimberly. But somebody definitely let us know. But I'm pretty sure Rebe is like the oldest. But I will say that I'm glad that Martha Wash is getting her flowers for that whole vamp part that she does. That Rebe does her little shimmy shoulder to in the video and is lip syncing. That is not, in that big breakdown, y'all, that is not Rebe Jackson singing. That is absolutely Martha Wash. And we need.
We're talking about the growl. Love it, love it, love it. Pure camp. Which leads me to think Michael Jackson definitely. Well, we all know this because we've heard time and time again that he was a prankster. He had a wild sense of humor. So knowing, so him creating a camp classic, but also a bop, is pure Michael Jackson. Is Michael Jackson at the Michael Jacksonist?
Yes. We're going to talk about another song that I think has the same thing. Actually, all of Michael Jackson's songs, I think, in a little bit have that same characteristic. I will say that this next song that we're about to talk about.
Oh, this is you right here. This is your jam.
Okay, and you know what? I'm gonna make something clear on this show too, Sir Daniel, because you know we did our Divas in '83 show.
Mm-hmm.
I want Diana Ross fans to know that of the four divas that we covered, because we ended up covering four, Diana is my favorite diva of those four. If I had to pick a diva of that group, I would pick Diana. I just didn't like that record. Stuff can be two things.
The fans were coming for y'all don't understand. The fans were coming for J. Ray. Like, I'm so glad this wasn't like a Nicki Beyonce situation, because the fans are a little bit older and they don't have as much time to dedicate to coming at J. Ray's neck. But it's hilarious. They were getting you together.
I just want the people to know I am very clear. I love Diana. So 82. So this Diana at this point this is her second album into her RCA deal. And Andy Warhol shot the album cover for this. This has an Andy Warhol cover. Diana is Diana Ross, okay? First single is Muscles. I have so much to say about this, but written and produced by Michael Jackson, background vocals by, come on, the Patty Austin,
yes,
Maxine and Julia Waters, released in 1982, September 17th, 1982. So we're coming up on an anniversary for that. And I didn't know this, Sir Daniel, until you put this in the notes, but this was allegedly an answer to Olivia Newton-John's Physical, which I understand, right?
Yes.
I get that. Two things that I think about often when I hear Muscles, because I immediately associate Muscles with two things. I associate it with fun times and being YouTube friendly, fun times that adults have together. And I also think of the fact that Michael Jackson was really religious when he wrote this song. We forget that Michael Jackson was a devout Jehovah's Witness. Apparently, right. Michael Jackson in the early 80s, y'all, was like going around LA knocking on people's doors. You know how they knock on your door and they're going to give you the watchtower? That was Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson was literally giving out watchtowers as a megastar.
And you know what else you got to think about, though, J-Ray? When I think about Muscles and Physical, so they end up being gay camp classics, like
absolutely
major bathhouse songs,
yes.
major drag performance songs. Like these songs, I'm pretty certain he didn't even know that was going to happen with them. But the fact that Jehovah Witness Michael is also penning Muscles and is looking out for the drag queens and the drag performers and the muscle boys that down to the ball walking in the muscle category. That song was used predominantly when it came to the muscle boy categories. Yes. And
Michael knew what he was doing.
You think so? He knew the reach of these particular songs?
I think that Michael, remember, he had this experience. Michael was really, he had lived like he was worldly. Is that what the people would say? I think the church people would say he was worldly, right?
So secular times.
Exactly. So he had spent time, like I said, in Studio 54. He had spent time in these clubs taking in this music. And so he understood, and he saw it. He understood what it all meant. and he was able to channel it and write it. And he saw, I think he saw Diana as a sex symbol, which at that time she was. Like Diana, that breathy vocal, Diana was a sex symbol, and and Muscles was a way to play that up.
You know what? You're absolutely right, because I could see him standing on the sidelines watching her perform, which he did a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And he would just watch her perform. And I guess you would become inspired by seeing the crowd's reaction and people losing their minds when they see her out on stage. So it's like, I need to write something
Yes.
that is worthy of a diva. And that's exactly what he did with Muscles. All right, so Michael not only wrote for women, Michael actually did write for other men as well. And I think one of our favorite duets, and you were just listening to this off air, is by Paul McCartney and Michael. Michael actually didn't write. Well, he co-wrote. I'll say that.
Him and Paul wrote it together.
Wrote Say, Say, Say together. Produced by George Martin. The song was released in October 3rd of 1983 and became Michael's 7th top 10 hit in 1983. Wow. And so, J. Ray, I think now here's this is kind of messy, but it's legendary. And we always hear about other people, mostly Black people, getting the short end of the stick. But during the time that Michael and Paul McCartney were recording Say, 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 Michael lived with Paul and Linda.
Yeah.
And, he was staying with them over time. And of course, I'm pretty certain, they're hanging out, having dinner or whatever. And Paul just says, hey, you want to see something? Paul pulls out a ledger of all the songs that he's written. All the Beatles, basically showed him his catalog.
Yeah.
And in that moment, schooled Michael on the importance and how lucrative publishing is to a musician. He plainly said, Michael, every time this song is licensed or is played anywhere, I get money.
Yeah.
And of course, and we know Michael, that's music to Michael's ears. Mr. Perrier Bubble Bath,
right?
That's music to his ears. And so, so little did Paul know that he was planting the seed to get his publishing got by Michael Jackson, who bought it up.
Business, business 101. Michael is like, oh, the Beatles catalog is available. I should buy that.
Right.
Now, and I think it's also important to note, I think that is so critical, what you just mentioned. And also, this is part of the trifecta. So Michael Jackson and Paul McCartney are tight during this period.
Yep.
We get Say, Say, Say. We get The Girl Is Mine. We get The Man. Michael Jackson and Paul McCartney could have been huge.
They could have been a super group.
They literally could have been a super. All three of those songs are magical in their own way. So The Man is like a rock pop. You have a Say, 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 which is like a R&B jam. You have The Girl Is Mine, which is like a nice soft, pop rock thing. Michael Jackson and Paul McCartney had Michael had Michael not went and bought that Man catalog, could have been a super group. It would have been crazy.
Yeah. That video was a hoot too. Remember, LaToya was in the video. Yep. Of course, Linda McCartney's always in the video. They were hobos.
They were hobos. Where they wearing like they had
scammers. They were like those hobos that would go across the country and scamming people out of their money, doing tricks and pickpocketing people and selling snake oil, that kind of stuff. So, which is pretty ironic,
right?
That they were stealing from each other. But at this point, Michael Jackson is just white hot. I mean, literally white hot. He is the biggest star in the world. And here we are, it's going into 1984, 1985, and we, as a whole, the music industry is experiencing like a boom. There are all these superstars that are making lots and lots of money, and they are the mega stars. It's not just movie stars anymore. These radio, video, pop, rock, R&B, whatever category you put them in, these people are megastars now because of music videos mostly.
Yep.
Because not everybody can see them.
Mm-hmm.
And so with that comes some sort of responsibility, because it's the 80s and there is a huge disparity between the haves and the have-nots.
Yep.
And as a country, our vision is going not just here in the United States, but our vision is going across the world. And we're seeing people in the world suffering. And so Harry Belafonte is
Shout
like,
out to Harry Belafonte.
you know what I'm saying? Has always been a change maker, into good trouble, as the late John Lewis would say, and was like, listen, there's people in Africa that are starving. The famine rates are super high on the continent of Africa, and so he wants to use his stardom to help. And so, of course, back then, he wants to reach out to all the musicians that he knows and says, hey, can we do something? Can we, what can we do to help aid Africa? Now, remember, J. Ray, there was a UK version of We Are the World. What actually came out before that.
Bob Geldof, I think, did that. Yep.
And it was Live
Aid.
Do They Know It's Christmas?
Oh, yes. Do They Know It's Christmas? Live Aid was the HIV situation. Yeah, Do They Know It's Christmas had come out with Jody Watley. Band-Aid. That's it.
Band-Aid. And so Jody Watley, I saw the Pointer Sisters, all the UK stars, Bananarama, Culture Club, all of those folks, they've done Band-Aid, and they're singing the song Do They Know It's Christmas to raise money to feed people in foreign countries to fight famine. And so, of course, Harry Belafonte reaches out to Lionel Richie, and next thing you know, this idea, a ball of snow is starting to accumulate. And before you know it, a night in 1985, I believe it was January, one night in January in 1985, in, I believe, Lionel Richie's home,
probably
like 46, J. Ray, 46 of the biggest artists in the United States got together to record We Are the World. And
insanity.
And I was just going to say insanity ensues, because it wasn't as easy as it looks in the video.
No, well, and so the interesting thing, so we're actually tuning in next week. I have not watched the documentary yet. I cannot wait to watch it. We are going to talk about this documentary and this one night that creates this moment. But what's so dope is when you look at We Are the World, is the diversity of, it's intergenerational. So you have newer stars that are there, like your Cyndi Laupers and your Huey Lewises, standing next to your Stevie Wonders and your Diana Rosses, who are literally 20 years into their career at this point.
Right.
They are the veterans. But all of these people are coming together on this one song and for this one night to record it, and helmed by Michael Jackson with his glasses and that with these glasses on. Did he have that curl coming down?
The one spit curl. I think this was One Glove Michael at the time as well.
Yeah. And Lionel Richie, who had been penning, he had just penned the Diana's last number one in Missing You. He's like the man. So you have these two huge writers who are richer than, my goodness, we will probably never even understand, getting black, and Quincy Jones, who's 40 years into his career at that point, or something crazy, probably like 30. But anyway, you get all these people in this room doing this thing. It was magical. And Michael was behind it.
46 artists that are from different genres now, J. Ray. Trying to get in who don't. Now, the funniest thing about it is just the difference in everyone's what's the word I'm looking for? The discipline of singing for
Their
different people.
performance style?
Their performance styles. Their people are very not necessarily note conscious as
That's a
say
nice.
Michael was note conscious. And just seeing the looks on his faces when he was like, no, no, sing it this way. Hey, listen to me. This is the note right here. Listen to me. Sing what I'm singing. You're down there. I need
Oh,
you up
he was giving
here.
Whitney with Brandy. Why are you down there?
Why are you down? Exactly, exactly. And so it's just a fun time. It's just a fun thing to watch and to know that at any moment behind those dark shades,
Oh, his eyes. He was shady.
who could have come out at any moment.
He was shady.
Because like any good Virgo, Michael is a control freak, and we would like things done a particular way. And we really want to work with people. We respect these people. You can see it in his face, like, oh, Kim Carnes, I don't know where you came from, but you sing. You think you Bob Dylan singing, and he's can you open your mouth and sing? You can see it in his face, like open your mouth and sing. And poor Cyndi Lauper. I can't wait for us. So we're gonna talk about.
We're gonna talk about this. We got so much to do on. We got more to come in on Cindy. So yeah, next week. Come back next week when we talk about this.
Come back for the next episode, indeed. But yeah, just another testament to Michael and his persona, the person that he's become, because he garnered people came because they heard it was Michael, Lionel, and Quincy.
Yeah.
So that means you got clout. You got some serious clout in this industry at this point. But Jerry, we just, Michael wasn't always writing these songs. Sometimes, like I said at the beginning, if he was in the studio and he was feeling something, sometimes Michael would hop on and sing on your background vocals.
And that's always so interesting. So I remember when I first realized some of the songs that Michael Jackson sang backgrounds on. And Michael, it was one of those things where that's when you realized he was like, oh, he's just a consummate performer because he's just on the backgrounds to this song. You may or may not know he's on the backgrounds to this song. He's just doing his job. You know what I'm saying? I'm here. Sometimes you know, sometimes you don't know. So we wanted to spend a couple of minutes talking about some of Michael's greatest background vocal appearances. And I mean, okay, this one that's at the top, I think is like the ultimate, like the pinnacle. Because, Michael takes a verse in this, and him, despite all the things that we know about the relationship between Michael and Jermaine, we know it was fraught, child. But those two together, those two could have been a super group. Michael Jackson and Jermaine Jackson, like performing Tell Me I'm Not Dreaming, which is also classic in Black people, because you could not tell me that song was not Tell Me Am I Dreaming. That's not the name of the song. That's not it.
I'm not dreaming. But there are parts in the song, J. Ray, where I'm listening and it does sound like it goes back and forth between Tell Me I'm Not Dreaming or Tell Me Am I Dreaming. But yes, you were correct. That's Black people, we love to switch it up. Switch it up with these lyrics.
So yeah, Tell Me I'm Not Dreaming is a classic bop. And I think I agree with you. I was playing that again right before we got on this thing too, and I was jamming. In fact, when I told my brother we were doing this show, he started singing Tell Me I'm Not Dreaming. And I was like, that joint is a jam.
So one thing about Tell Me I'm Not Dreaming, that the labels weren't pushing that song because Jermaine is on RC. No, Jermaine is on Arista and Michael is on Epic.
Yep.
And so there was a conflict about pushing that record on the air between both labels. So apparently it didn't get a lot of airplay, but like you said, I'm pretty certain the DJs picked up on it and ran it in the ground, because we all know Tell Me I'm Not Dreaming and it's a bop. That came out December 21st of 84. Man, the 80s. Such great music. That was Jermaine's like um self-titled album,
Yeah, and he was
and
like
he
5 albums in
really
by then.
yeah, and he was really feeling he was doing the military jacket with the
Of course.
epaulets like his brother. And it was like, okay, game on. I'm gonna really show y'all who's the king of pop around here. And man, what a relationship. What a
Yeah.
relationship to the end.
To the end.
To the end they were beefing, but it's okay. It's okay. We got Tell Me I'm Not Dreaming.
Right.
But I also think now when Michael got with his cousin, and it's so funny when people find out that Stevie
Isn't that
Wonder is
crazy?
related to the
And
Jacksons.
Janet just said that. Janet was like, yeah, Stevie is our cousin, along with Tracy Chapman and someone else. It's like another name that we wouldn't. Oh, Samuel L. Jackson is also their cousin.
Yeah. And I love how she says it so matter-of-factly,
Yeah.
like, duh.
Right.
Stevie Wonder's our cousin. I mean, sorry we didn't tell you all in the beginning, but yeah, that's our cousin.
Yep.
Catch up. But one of our favorite songs, J. Ray, September 29th, 1980. All I Do. And that's such a
All I do is, and it's such a subtle, that's one of those ones that I didn't know Michael sang background on until I got older and I was like reading the liner notes for that song. Now, let's talk about, because the backgrounds on this song is giving, because Michael Jackson is on this, Sir Daniel. Eddie Levert is on All I Do, I'm pretty sure. And I think Betty Wright is on that song too. I'm gonna double check this. Somebody correct me if I am wrong, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Betty Wright, Michael Jackson, Eddie Levert, and Walter Williams. So we got 2 OJs on All I Do.
And we need to do a feature on Betty Wright.
We do.
Because Betty Wright was no slouch. Mama was singing background on everybody's songs and had her own hits. Super sampled artist. Yeah, we got to give Betty Wright some respect as well.
Yep.
But yeah, Stevie Wonder's All I Do, and we mentioned Janet. And this is, okay, I'm going to be honest, this is one of my favorites on the list. I know people hated this song.
Why? This is a jam.
I mean, it's cheesy. It is very cheesy, quintessential 80s. Like, I really, when I hear the beginning of Don't Stand a Chance by Janet Jackson, I do think that I keep thinking that Revenge of the Nerds is about to pop up on my screen, or something with some very, very analog computer typing is coming across my television screen for a very 80s movie. It's Marlon produced it, written by Marlon Jackson, and you didn't get just Michael on the background vocals.
Oh, her brothers, come on, brothers, we gonna sing.
We got Jackie, we got Tito, we got Jermaine and Michael.
Listen,
so you got all of them on that.
This
track.
is the Jackson 5 is doing this. So first of all, shout out to Janet Jackson's first album. It's so many things on this record that I absolutely adore. And you know what? Let me know, for those that have seen Janet live over the last few years, has she been doing stuff from the first album? I hope she has. As you know, I don't care about Dream Street, so I don't care if she does.
How could you not care about Dream Street?
So
Dream
Daniel,
Street is everything.
I don't care.
I love Dream. I do want to say that I think maybe in essence she did do something from that out of Dream Street, from that era.
Okay.
I want to say she did do something in that era, but I absolutely love that era. Somebody in the text is asking, are we excited for Michael's biopic? I hadn't really thought about it. Every now and then some photo stills from the behind the scenes pops up, and because it's his nephew, there are moments where he's just like, oh, okay, yeah, they did that shot, that looks like Michael. So but maybe I still have PTSD from the
Flex Alexander. Oh my God,
with that white paint on his face, and I still have a little PTSD from that. that I'm not really getting my hopes super high. Now, what I have heard great things about was the Broadway stage play.
I
They say
heard that
that
was
is
amazing.
phenomenal.
Agreed.
Phenomenal.
Agreed. Yeah, I think I'm with you. I am like, yeah, I want to see what they do with it. I love the fact that the family is involved. I think that's encouraging.
Mhm.
Um, I am not expecting to learn anything new, and that's
Right.
okay. Listen, I was saying that same thing about Whitney. I was like, baby, we have gotten enough documentaries and enough things that I feel like we have all the stories we need to have. Let's celebrate Michael's career. So if it's
Mhm.
going to do that, I'm all for it. I would love to see it, and I want to see what the family has to say. So, um, but yeah, this last one that we're about to talk about, Sir Daniel, is people often think this is a Michael Jackson song, and it's just not a Michael Jackson song.
Oh no, just the opposite. I was I was an adult when when I found out that Michael Jackson was singing backgrounds on this song.
Really?
Yes, I was an adult. I was just like, huh? And then it's just one of those things when when somebody tells you and you're sitting there like, that is him. Oh my god! And you feel
Oh,
so yeah. I was on the slow bus that day.
interesting. So, a fun story, just a little bit of a background about this particular song. So, we're talking about Rockwell's Somebody's Watching Me. I want to talk about, you said something earlier that I think this song really encapsulates a Michael Jackson trope too. But I think what's interesting about this song is this is, of course, Berry Gordy's son. Motown signed Rockwell not knowing who it was. So he took on this name, Rockwell, submitted
Mhm.
this demo for this song. They were like, yes, let's sign this young man. And it turns out he had done it all without anyone knowing that it was actually the boss's son. The boss didn't even know. Like, they had signed him, and he was like, wait a minute, what? So no one,
This year?
right, dish you. Somebody's Watching Me, Rockwell, background vocals by Michael Jackson, because they were friends. They're from the Motown
Yeah.
family. This is my friend. And the Michael Jackson trope that you mentioned earlier that I think is so interesting is that he's always towing the line. I think it's always kind of a little tongue in cheek, a little
Mhm.
campy. You know what I mean? I think Thriller has that same thing, right? Where it's just like, this is like theater. And Somebody's
It's
Watching Me
theatrical.
reminds me of
Yeah.
theater.
It's it's funny. The song was released in December 27th of 83.
Mhm.
Um, but it's such a Halloween
It is.
classic as well.
Yep.
It came out in December, but it became a Halloween classic to me. It's like Thriller, Somebody's Watching Me, songs by The Cure, all of those things. When I'm putting together a Halloween playlist, those are the things that are going on that Halloween playlist.
Listen, and all of this, once again, Michael is doing all of this, and he's really, really a Jehovah's Witness, y'all. Like, Michael Jackson is, I promise you, going around LA giving out watchtowers to people. It is
Hi,
fascinating.
hi.
Can you
Can I talk to you about? Can I talk to you about the return of Jehovah? I just want to come in for a minute.
can
No,
you take it? I would not be able to take it. I would be like,
because
yes.
because you know how we do. We stand there at the peephole, looking like, shh, everybody be quiet. Turn the
Hold on,
TV
but then
down.
you're like, shh, Michael Jackson is out there.
Is that Michael Jackson? And so, no, I don't care who it is. Don't let them in. Don't let them in. And then you just looking out the window, watching him walk back to his car, because
Right.
I'm certain to his limo, because I'm certain he wasn't walking up and down the street. He just was like being dropped off house to house.
I wonder if that was true. I also wonder if he was wearing like those glitter socks while he was doing
Mm.
this door to door. That would be.
You know what? Michael was also a master of disguise.
Mhm.
So he could have been out witnessing in disguise. So there's that.
Full
So
prosthetics.
full prosthetics, and he really wanted the message of Jehovah to shine through and not his stardom. So hey, could be one of those mysteries that we'll never really know. But listen, I enjoyed this conversation about Michael and the stuff that he did behind the scenes.
So thank you all so much for joining us and hanging out for Q Points. If you can hear our voices, if you can see us, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Hit the subscribe button. If there's a notification bell, go ahead and hit that too. The other thing that we say, if you enjoy Q Points, you like this show, you thought it was fun, go ahead, tell your friends, family, colleagues. We do this every week. Even if we're not here, we will air another show. So you should make sure, and you should also subscribe to our podcast so you get notifications when those episodes come out as well. DJ Sir Daniel, you currently have your series that we are running, which is going to release again on Saturday. So if you tune in to the podcast as well, you can also visit our Patreon to see the full versions of those conversations. So we're super excited about that. It's called I Come Alive. So good work on that, Sir Daniel. Like, this is a good series talking about actually tell them a little bit about the series, Sir Daniel, what it's about. Let the people know.
The series focuses on the lives of men who have experienced nightlife in Atlanta, gay nightlife in Atlanta in the early 80s, 90s to the early 2000s. It's really a dope history lesson because I just had the question of where did all the clubs go? Where did all the spaces that were Black and gay go, because they just all of a sudden disappeared? And it launched last week during Atlanta Black Gay Pride. It did very well. People really clicked up on it. But yeah, it's a lot of great conversations and just conversations with people who actually lived it. If you're interested, if you love nightlife and you like stories about the past and and people who lived it, it's definitely for you. If you're a historian, you like hearing historical context, and you've ever been to Atlanta and you wanted to know how things were back in the days, pre-Freaknik, during Freaknik, all of that stuff. Oh, there was a lot of stuff going on that you probably didn't know about, but I'm really thank you for bringing that up, Jerry, and I hope people enjoy it and that you pass it around.
Absolutely. So subscribe so you can check that out as well. Visit our website, qpoints.com. You can sign up for our newsletter. We appreciate that. And you can shop our store at store.qpoints.com.
Yes. So what do I always say? In this life, you have a choice. You can either pick up the needle or you can let the record play. I am DJ Sir Daniel.
My name is J Ray, y'all.
And this has been Q Points Podcast, dropping the needle on Black music history. We'll see you on the next go round. Peace.
Peace, y'all.
Because your butt is mine.